You pray to God every day, begging for change, but when He sends Archangel Michael with the answer, you skip it. Now a big miracle is slipping away and God is very angry. Beloved one, lift your eyes for a moment and see what heaven sees. Every day, rivers of prayers ascend before the throne of God. Countless voices cry out, some in whispers of exhaustion, some in shouts of desperation, others in the quiet groanings of a weary spirit. The petitions rise like incense, pleas for breakthrough, cries for deliverance, tears for change, urgent questions for direction. Heaven is never silent to these cries. Not one prayer has been ignored, not one tear wasted. Yet, there is a truth that many refuse to face. Answers do not always arrive in the shape that human expectation demands. This is not a word for everyone. No, this is a word for the one who has prayed in secret, whose pillow is soaked with tears, whose lips have formed the question, Lord, why do you delay? Why do you tarry when I am drowning? You have pressed heaven with your persistence. You have bent under the weight of waiting, and still you have lifted your voice daily. To you, this message comes as a holy interruption. For the living God has indeed answered. He has sent His word, His warning, His guidance, and yes, He has dispatched His mighty warrior, Archangel Michael, as a sign that heaven has not forgotten you. But here's the tragedy. Many fail to recognize the answer when it comes. They expect a loud trumpet, a shining light, a sweeping instant miracle. Yet sometimes the answer is silence that tests the heart, an instruction that feels too small, or an angelic stirring that seems too strange to comprehend. And because of this blindness, the very miracle prayed for is often rejected, skipped, dismissed as coincidence, or delayed by disobedience. The cries were sincere, but the response was overlooked. Heaven is patient, but heaven's patience is not endless. When an answer is sent and yet ignored, heaven begins to close its hands. A miracle begins to slip away, not because God is unwilling, but because His children refuse to recognize His methods. Even now, the Spirit declares urgency. God's patience is thinning. His anger burns against rejection of His ways. The one who asked in tears stands on the edge of losing what was already released. Beloved, the time is short, and the hour is now. Do not miss the form your miracle takes, for heaven has already moved on your behalf. Type I am chosen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. Hear now the call of heaven, for this is not a casual message, nor a passing whisper, but a divine interruption meant to pierce the noise around you. The Lord has seen the prayers you have poured out in the night hours. He has heard your heart when words could no longer form, when your breath trembled, when your voice broke. And in response to those desperate cries, He has dispatched His warrior, Archangel Michael, to stand between you and the plans of destruction. This is a holy intervention. Do not dismiss it. Do not harden your heart, for what you hear in this moment carries the weight of eternity. Beloved, the heavens are in motion as I speak. The earth may seem still, but the unseen realms are trembling with activity. Your prayers have provoked movement. Your cries have shaken open sealed scrolls. Your tears have summoned a response from the courts of the Almighty. And so Michael, the great prince who stands for God's people, has been sent once again, not to deliver a vague comfort, but to wage war for your deliverance, to shield you from the snare, to unlock the answer that your waiting has demanded. Yet hear this urgent truth. Within hours, destinies can shift. By dawn, heaven can decide what is kept or what is lost. The unseen balance is not fixed. It is swayed by your obedience, by your recognition of heaven's answer, by your willingness to act when prompted. Too many treat prayer like an echo chamber, expecting God to repeat back their desires in the same tone they spoke them. But God is sovereign. His answers come not in the echo, but in the unexpected form, the unfamiliar instruction, the angelic encounter that tests your discernment. This is why I say to you now, this word is not for the distracted, not for the double-minded, not for the ones who pray for sport but never expect transformation. No, this word is for the desperate soul, for the chosen one who asked for heaven to intervene, for the weary heart that whispered, Lord, if you do not show up, I will not survive. To you, heaven sends this warning. Do not miss Michael's visitation. Do not dismiss the very answer you demanded. Your enemies have already discerned that something is stirring. They sense a shift, though they cannot name it. They feel pressure, though they cannot see the source. This is the hand of God moving around you. Yet heaven is testing your eyes. Will you see? Will you recognize? Will you grasp what others overlook? Even now, the angelic host encamps. The Spirit whispers, pay attention, for the moment of decision is near. If you obey, doors will open. If you ignore, what was prepared for you may pass to another. This is the hour of choice. This is the moment when your prayer life collides with heaven's response. The angels are not idle. They are waiting for your recognition. Beloved, I call you to lean in. Set aside distractions. Break away from chatter. Fix your eyes on the unseen, for your answer is nearer than you think. But hear me well. If you turn away, if you dismiss this as coincidence, you may lose the very miracle you begged God to release. This is the hour of urgency, the moment when heaven leans close and watches how you respond. The throne has answered. Now the question is, will you receive it? Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 has been released over you. Now, beloved, there is a mystery unfolding around you, and it is this mystery that has left your heart unsettled. For you prayed with fire, you asked with boldness, you begged with tears, yet when the answer began to take shape, it did not look like the vision in your mind. You expected heaven to split the sky, to send thunder, to deliver glory in a way that all could see. But instead, the answer came quiet, wrapped in instruction, cloaked in stillness, hidden in forms you did not recognize. And now you stand in the tension of confusion, wondering if heaven has ignored you, when in truth, heaven has already moved. This is the betrayal of expectation. You believed help would arrive in shining robes, carrying signs so undeniable that no faith would be required. But help came instead as a whisper in the silence, a stirring in the spirit, a divine nudge that seemed too small for the scale of your need. It came through patience that felt unbearable, through divine silence that stretched your endurance, through warnings that did not match your idea of deliverance. And because it did not fit the picture in your mind, you brushed it aside. Yet, beloved, that was the very help you were praying for. This is why the people around you do not understand. They look at your life and sense something shifting, but they cannot put their finger on it. They see doors opening and closing without explanation. They see your countenance change, your steps falter, your eyes searching. They know heaven is moving, but they do not see the full picture. And so you carry a weight they cannot comprehend. The burden of knowing something has been overlooked. Something vital has slipped past. Something in your spirit cries out, I missed it. I did not see it. But take heart, beloved. What you feel is not the end, but the holy unrest that God allows to awaken your discernment. The unease in your spirit is heaven's alarm clock, shaking you from slumber, reminding you that your miracle is still within reach if only you will recognize it. The disruption in your emotions is not abandonment, it is redirection. God is pulling your eyes away from what you expected so you can behold what He has truly sent. Do not dismiss this moment of mystery. Do not silence the inner stirring that says something greater is near. The unanswered feeling you carry is proof that heaven is not finished. The very fact that your spirit feels disturbed is the evidence that you are standing on the edge of divine revelation. What you thought you missed can still be restored. What you believed was slipping away can still be seized, if only you respond with obedience now. Beloved, you prayed for change. You asked for a miracle. And though it came in a form you did not recognize, the hand of God has not withdrawn. Your obedience, your recognition, your willingness to embrace the unexpected, these are the keys that will unlock what you thought was denied. Type "I receive" in the comments if this word speaks to you. Blessing code 1414 is now covering you. Beloved, before we continue, let me speak to your heart. If this word is igniting something in your spirit, know that you are part of a holy assignment. Every time you sow into this mission, you are not just giving, you are unlocking light for another soul who is crying in the dark. God says, as you sow, so shall you reap a harvest pressed down, shaken together, and running over. I feel led to tell you this. Your support carries the fragrance of obedience, and heaven sees it as worship. I invite you now. Stand with us in spreading these messages of deliverance and revelation. You can join this mission through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or directly through PayPal. The link is in the description below. When you give, you are not funding a voice, you are fueling the fire of heaven's word across nations. As you obey, I declare rivers of provision will open over you. Do not delay, respond prophetically, and watch your seed turn into breakthrough. Beloved, listen closely, for what you thought was delay has not been delay at all. It has been divine testing. Heaven does not measure your desperation by how loudly you cry or how often you plead. Heaven measures your obedience in the silent moments, when no one sees, when the command seems too simple, when the instruction feels too inconvenient. It is in those moments that your heart is weighed, your motives examined, your faith stretched. What you have mistaken as unanswered prayer is in truth heaven's way of proving the depth of your surrender. Understand this mystery. When Michael is dispatched, he does not always appear with sword raised and enemies falling instantly. Sometimes his presence comes as a prompting in your spirit, a nudge to hold your tongue, a stirring to step back, a whisper to walk away. And when that prompting is ignored, it is not just disobedience, it is warfare in disguise. For the enemy knows he cannot cancel the command of God, but he can blind you to it, distract you from it, or convince you to disregard it. Every time you overlook Michael's prompting, the enemy laughs because he knows you rejected the very weapon designed to save you. This is the battlefield most do not recognize. Many think warfare is only in shouting prayers, binding forces, or confronting visible enemies. But the truest battleground is the inner one. Your discernment, your obedience, your willingness to submit when heaven speaks. Angels are watching. They are recording your responses. They are waiting to see if you will honor the instruction, even when it makes no sense to your natural mind. Do not be deceived. Heaven weighs these moments more heavily than your endless petitions. For the Father is not moved by repetition of words. He is moved by alignment with His will. And so the conflict you feel within you is not confusion. It is the clash between obedience and resistance, between surrender and pride, between discernment and blindness. Your prayers shook heaven, and heaven responded by sending Michael to your side. But when you hesitate, when you second-guess, when you insist that the answer must look a certain way, you place yourself at risk of missing the very breakthrough you demanded. This is not delay, this is warfare, subtle but fierce. Beloved, you are not abandoned. You are being tested. You are not rejected. You are being refined. The silence you felt was not absence. It was heaven watching, recording, measuring how you respond when faith is required. This is why the pressure feels unbearable, why the weight on your shoulders seems too much. Because heaven is watching to see if you will obey in the dark, when no spotlight shines, when no applause is given. Archangel Michael stands ready. His sword is drawn. But he cannot move unless you recognize the prompting. Your obedience is the signal. Your surrender is the activation. Your yes is the release. Do not think heaven is ignoring you. It is waiting on you. For when you align with instruction, the war tilts in your favor. The angels rush to act. The miracle is secured. The battle is won. Therefore, take heed of this word. Do not treat it lightly. For your breakthrough does not hang on the strength of your cry, but on the strength of your obedience. This is the true conflict. Will you recognize heaven's answer when it comes, or will you reject it again? Type "I will obey" in the comments if this word finds you. Blessing code 888 now surrounds your steps. Beloved, hear this solemn warning. The clock of heaven is moving, and the hourglass is almost empty. What you choose in silence now will soon echo in the open. Within 72 hours, the unseen decisions of your heart will begin to manifest in the visible world. Heaven does not leave matters unresolved forever. When heaven speaks, it demands a response. When Michael arrives, he does not linger without purpose. He comes for action. He comes for obedience. He comes to shift the atmosphere in your favor. But if you turn away, his assignment cannot be completed. Even now, pressure is building in the spirit realm. Something is aligning. Something is tightening. Something is preparing to break forth. Heaven has positioned you at a crossroads. And while you may not see it clearly, the forces of opposition are already gathering to resist your breakthrough. Someone has set their eyes on you with the intent to block, to confront, to sabotage. They are preparing their move even as you hear this word. But know this, the enemy only moves with such boldness because he senses the miracle is near. He would not fight so fiercely if there were nothing to lose. This is why heaven speaks with urgency. The miracle you prayed for is not far, but it is fragile. It hangs in the balance, not because God is unsure, but because you must align in faith and obedience to secure it. Too often, people beg for a blessing, then treat it with carelessness when it arrives. They ask for deliverance, but resist the discipline that sustains it. They demand a miracle, but ignore the instructions that protect it. And so the gift slips through their hands, not because God withheld it, but because they let it fall. Hear me well, heaven is not playing games. The patience of God is deep, but it is not endless. You have asked long enough, you have cried long enough. The Father now demands recognition. The angels now await your yes. If you hesitate, if you dismiss this word, if you treat it as a passing sound instead of a divine trumpet, the moment may pass, and what was prepared for you may be handed to another. Do not misinterpret this warning. It is not spoken to frighten, but to awaken. You are loved. You are chosen. You are seen. But heaven will not allow you to remain careless with what has been purchased at so high a price. The blood of Jesus paid for your freedom, and the angels are dispatched to enforce it. If you turn away now, you insult the very grace you begged for. The loved, the hours are few. The choice is urgent. If you obey, you will see doors open that no man can shut. If you ignore, you may find yourself weeping again for what slipped away. This is why the Spirit presses me to say, act now, obey now, recognize now. Heaven has already moved. Do not let your miracle slip. Type I will not miss IT in the comments if you receive this warning. Blessing Toad 555 now shields your destiny. Beloved, listen with both your ears and your spirit, for heaven is releasing guidance that will preserve your miracle and shield your destiny. In this hour, the instruction of the Lord is clear. Be still. Do not allow yourself to be swept into endless chatter, arguments, or distractions. Be still, for your silence is your weapon. When the enemy expects your reaction, give him none. When your accusers wait for your response, stay hidden in the shadow of the Almighty. For it is written, the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. Your silence in this season is not weakness, it is strategy. It is divine alignment. It is obedience. Stillness is strength. When you withdraw from the noise of voices around you, you create space for the whisper of God to grow louder. Heaven does not compete with chaos. Angels do not speak over confusion. The Spirit speaks in the secret place, in the quiet, and the stillness where your heart is yielded and your ears are attentive. If you would only quiet your soul, you would hear the footsteps of Michael moving around you, shifting things on your behalf. But if you fill the air with constant noise, you drown out the very guidance that secures your deliverance. Obedience is unlocking. Do not underestimate the power of following even the smallest instruction. Sometimes heaven's command comes in the form of restraint. Do not speak, do not move, do not react. Other times it comes as a whisper of direction. Step forward here, release that there, wait in this place. These may feel insignificant, but in the spirit realm they are colossal. Your obedience is a signal to heaven's armies, a declaration that you are aligned, a trumpet blast that tells Michael to move with full authority. Therefore, I charge you now, withdraw from unnecessary battles. Do not explain yourself to those who will not understand. Do not waste your energy defending what heaven has already justified. Let your silence speak. Let your stillness be your strength. The more you quiet your voice before men, the louder your obedience resounds in heaven's courts. And while you walk in stillness, wrap yourself in protective prayers and declarations. Speak life over yourself daily. Declare, I am hidden in the shelter of the Most High. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I will not miss my miracle. These are not empty words. They are shields in the spirit realm, armor that surrounds you as Michael wars on your behalf. Your decrees of faith are arrows that pierce the schemes of the enemy, walls of fire that keep destruction at bay. Do not fear the silence. Do not despise the waiting. Do not mistake your stillness for stagnation. In the spirit realm, much is being accomplished while you appear still. Michael is moving, doors are shifting, chains are breaking. Your stillness creates room for heaven's action. Your obedience keeps the miracle intact. So, beloved, be at peace. Guard your mouth. Guard your heart. Guard your steps. Heaven has surrounded you. Michael is near. The miracle is not lost. It is protected in the silence of your surrender. Type "I will be still" in the comments if this word covers you. Blessing code 1199 now rests over your house. Beloved, hear the word of the Lord. You are not who they think you are anymore. The old version of you, the one who was bound by fear, weighed down by doubt, silenced by shame, that version no longer exists. Heaven has shifted your identity. You prayed for change, and though you did not see it at first, the transformation has already begun. You are rising, you are awakening, you are stepping into the mantle that heaven placed on your shoulders long before you even asked. The voices of the past may try to remind you of your failures, your mistakes, your weaknesses. But those voices are liars. For the fire of God has been refining you in silence, shaping you in waiting, strengthening you in weakness. You are not a victim. You are chosen. You are not overlooked. You are set apart. Every tear you shed has been water to the soil of your destiny. And now, beloved, the harvest is breaking forth. You are stronger than you realize. You are more anointed than they believe. You are walking into a version of yourself that terrifies the enemy and confuses those who thought they had you figured out. Do not shrink back. Do not apologize for the glory resting upon you. When the fire of heaven touches a life, it consumes everything that cannot remain. That is why you felt stripped. That is why you endured the furnace. That is why the silence pressed so hard. It was burning away the layers that no longer belonged to you. And now, like gold refined 7 times, you shine with a radiance that cannot be hidden. The fire has not destroyed you. It has revealed you. Heaven says to you now, spread your wings. For the season of crawling is over. You were not made to be bound to the dust. You were made to soar. The strength you thought was lost has returned. The courage you thought was gone has been resurrected. A mantle you thought had passed you by is now resting firmly on your shoulders. Your obedience has awakened your identity, and your identity is activating your destiny. Beloved, this is the shift. You are no longer the one begging for scraps at the table. You are the one invited to feast in the presence of your enemies. You are no longer the one overlooked in the crowd. Heaven calls your name. Your name is written in the courts of God, and your obedience has summoned angelic reinforcement. You do not stand alone. You stand with Michael at your side, with heaven's armies encamped around you, with the Spirit of the living God breathing strength into your being. So rise up now. Walk as the chosen one you are. Speak as one carrying divine authority. Move as one who carries heaven's endorsement. Let your silence be your weapon. Let your fire be your testimony. Let your wings carry you into heights you never imagined. You are no longer bound. You are rising. You are no longer weak. You are a warrior. You are no longer overlooked. You are heaven's chosen vessel for this hour. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you know this is your word. Blessing code 2020 now crowns you with strength. Beloved, listen now, for the mystery begins to unfold. You thought your prayers were unanswered, but they were never ignored. From the very first cry, from the very first tear, heaven took notice. Your petitions were not cast aside. They were sealed in golden bowls before the throne. And the Lord, in his wisdom, sent forth his mighty warrior, Archangel Michael, not only to defend you, but to fight for what your tears demanded. Every silent cry was recorded, every desperate plea was written, and now the heavens have responded. Do not be deceived by silence. Silence is not neglect, it is strategy. While you waited, heaven was arranging, aligning, setting pieces into place that your eyes could not see. While you cried, angelic armies were negotiating in the unseen, securing what the enemy tried to hold back. While you questioned, the Spirit was already positioning you for a greater release than what you asked. Heaven is not a marketplace where your requests are bartered. It is a kingdom where your destiny is orchestrated. The delays you felt were not denials. They were divine timing, ensuring that when the miracle comes, it cannot be stolen. Hear the revelation now. Michael has been warring for your inheritance. He has been contending for what was written about you before you were even born. The blessings you thought were lost, the promotions you thought were blocked, the breakthroughs you thought were slipping, these have not been lost. They are being secured. They are being guarded. They are being prepared to manifest at the appointed time. Your obedience is the key that will turn what is hidden into what is revealed. Beloved, your name is known in heaven's courts. Do not believe the lie that you are forgotten. Your prayers carry weight because they are attached to destiny. Your petitions shook the throne because they were aligned with God's will for your life. You thought you were just asking for help, but in truth you were activating prophecy. You thought you were just begging for change, but in reality, you were calling forth what had already been written in eternity. And now the revelation is this. You are standing in the fulfillment of prayers that seemed unanswered. The doors that fell shut were being reserved for a greater entrance. The people who walked away were removed to make room for divine alignment. The pain you endured was training for the authority you now carry. Michael did not fight in vain. Heaven did not arrange in silence for nothing. Your breakthrough is tied to obedience, and as you obey, the release will not just be what you asked. It will be greater, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So receive this revelation. Your blessing is not denied. It is secured. Your miracle is not canceled. It is delayed for greater glory. Your prayers were not wasted. They were multiplied in heaven. And the Father says, what I have prepared for you, no man can take, no demon can block, no delay can deny. Type I believe in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing Node 1313 is being released over your life. Beloved, as you hear this revelation, know this. You are not just a listener. You are part of heaven's unfolding plan. When you stand with this ministry, you are sowing into the very flow of prophetic words that ignite breakthroughs across the earth. God says, those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. As you give, you are not funding a broadcast. You are fueling a global movement of deliverance, awakening, and revelation. Your seed becomes a sword. Your offering becomes oil that lights another soul's path. Right now, you can support through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The link is in the description below. As you obey, I declare heaven will release rivers of provision, streams of peace, and an overflow of joy into your house. Do not hesitate. Sow now, and watch how God multiplies what you release into a harvest beyond what you imagine. Beloved, heaven waits for your yes. Do you not see it? The angels stand at attention, their wings stretched, their swords drawn, their eyes fixed upon you, awaiting the word that will activate what has been prepared. Your destiny is not sleeping. It is knocking. It is pressing against the door, straining to break into the visible world. But heaven will not force its way through. It requires your agreement, your obedience, your yes. For too long you have prayed as one begging at the gates, but the Father says, "You are not a beggar. You are an heir." Do not grovel for what already belongs to you. Do not plead as though you are forgotten. You are chosen. You are marked. You are sealed with a promise that was written before the foundations of the earth. Heaven has already decreed your victory. Now it is time for you to step into alignment, to rise from the ground of pleading into the posture of receiving. This is destiny activation. When your heart, your words, your actions, and your obedience come into agreement with what heaven has already declared. Do not wait for another sign. The sign has already been given. Do not ask for another confirmation. The confirmation has already come. The Spirit says, now is the appointed time. Every delay you endured was preparing this moment. Every battle you fought was training for this hour. Every tear you shed was watering the soil for this harvest. Beloved, you must shift from asking to receiving. You have begged, but now it is time to declare. You have waited, but now it is time to walk forward. You have prayed, but now it is time to possess. For when heaven releases, it expects earth to respond. If you remain passive, the miracle will hover without manifestation. But if you rise and say yes, the heavens will pour, the angels will move, the miracle will land in your hands. Do not underestimate the power of your yes. Your yes tells heaven you are ready. Your yes tells Michael to strike down the final resistance. Your yes tells the Spirit that your heart is aligned. Your yes breaks chains in the unseen and opens doors in the seen. Beloved, say yes, and watch what heaven does in response. Destiny is not a far-off promise. It is here, it is now. It is waiting for your activation. The mantle is ready, the oil is flowing, the breakthrough is near. But heaven will not crown you while you sit in hesitation. Heaven crowns those who rise, those who obey, those who move forward in faith even when the road looks uncertain. Your destiny is not waiting for tomorrow. It is pressing on you today. So rise. Declare with your mouth, I am chosen. I am anointed. I am ready. Step into prayer not as a beggar, but as an heir. Lift your hands not in fear, but in faith. Move your feet not in doubt, but in boldness. Heaven is watching, and all of creation waits for your yes. Type "Yes, Lord" in the comments if this word activates you. Blessing code 1001 is being released over your next step. Beloved, there is a realm unseen to human eyes, a dimension where your tears speak louder than words, where your sighs become scrolls in heaven, where your obedience triggers movements no ear can hear. It is in this realm that silent exchanges take place, exchanges that determine what is bound, what is loosed, what is restored, and what is withheld. While you wondered if God was listening, heaven was already writing contracts of reversal. While you slept, the Spirit of the living God was negotiating on your behalf. While you walked in silence, angels were speaking your name before the throne. Do you not know that the kingdom of darkness also trades in silence? The enemy seeks to steal destinies in the unseen, to barter away inheritances through doubt, to exchange blessings for despair. But God, in His mercy, did not allow it. While the enemy plotted in darkness, Michael stood in the courts of heaven as your defender. He held back what the adversary tried to claim. He contended for what your weakness made vulnerable. He guarded the very promises that seemed to slip from your hands. And this is the mystery. Much of what you thought you lost has not been lost at all. it has been held in safekeeping. What the enemy thought he had stolen has been intercepted by heaven's armies. What was traded away in weakness is now being reclaimed in strength. Even now, scrolls are being rewritten. Even now, chains are being cut. Even now, angels are placing into your hands what you thought had vanished forever. This is why your spirit has felt restless. Something within you sensed a shift before your mind understood. You felt unsettled in moments of silence because the exchange was happening beyond your sight. You could not explain why certain burdens lifted suddenly, or why unexpected peace descended after prayer. That was heaven confirming the trade had been completed. That was Michael delivering what was fought for in the unseen. Beloved, recognize the power of this exchange. Your obedience in silence was not wasted. It was the very key heaven required to complete the transaction. When you held your tongue, you released the angels to speak. When you chose stillness, you allowed heaven's negotiations to proceed without interference. When you whispered yes to God, your spirit signed a covenant that demons could not override. Even now, I declare, what was stolen is being returned. What was withheld is being released. What was locked is being opened. You stand at the doorway of restoration, not by your own strength, but by heaven's intervention. The silent exchange has already taken place. The question is no longer whether heaven heard you. It is whether you will now recognize what has been placed in your hands. Beloved, lift your eyes. See beyond the visible. The Spirit testifies within you that the exchange is complete. You may not feel worthy, but heaven has declared you redeemed. You may not feel ready, but heaven has declared you appointed. Take hold of what has been returned, and walk forward knowing the silent realm has already secured what you feared was lost. Type "IT is mine" in the comments if you receive this truth. Blessing code 2424 is now active over your restoration. Beloved, hear the word of the Lord. Justice is in motion. The scales that seem tilted against you are being balanced, even now. What was withheld will no longer be restrained. What was stolen will not remain in the enemy's camp, and what was spoken against you will be overturned by heaven's decree. The God who judges in righteousness has risen from his throne, and he has declared a reversal. Do not think that your pain has gone unnoticed. Do not think that your suffering has been ignored. Heaven has been keeping record, and the judge of all creation is now balancing the books. The plans of the enemy were written in secret, but God has read every line. The schemes that were plotted against you have been exposed before the throne, and the Father, in his justice, has ordered them to be reversed. What was meant to destroy you will elevate you. What was designed to shame you will crown you. What was formed as a weapon will become a testimony in your hands. The reversal is already in motion. The enemy cannot stop it. Men cannot block it. Time cannot erase it. Beloved, the delays you suffered were not to deny you. They were to multiply you. While you thought heaven was silent, God was preparing a double portion. Just as Job received double after his season of loss, so too shall you walk in overflow after your season of trial. The pain you carried is now being measured against the glory to be revealed, and heaven always pays in double. For every tear, a blessing. For every setback, a promotion. For every rejection, a greater acceptance. This is the justice of God, not only restoration, but multiplication. And I declare to you now, what the enemy boasted about holding has slipped from his grasp. He cannot contain what God has released. He cannot undo what heaven has written. He cannot silence what the Spirit has decreed. Even now, doors are reopening, relationships are being restored, finances are being multiplied, health is being revived, and honor is being returned. What was lost is not only returning, it is returning with interest. Beloved, understand this reversal is not a coincidence. It is divine justice. Heaven has heard the accusations of your enemies, but heaven has also recorded your faithfulness. You did not curse God in your wilderness. You did not abandon him in your waiting. And for this reason, the gavel of heaven has struck in your favor. The verdict has been issued. You are vindicated. You are restored. You are elevated. The same mouths that mocked you will witness your miracle. The same hands that pushed you down will see you rise. The same spirits that tried to block you will watch helplessly as Michael clears the path before you. So rejoice, beloved. Your miracle is not lost. It is magnified. Your destiny is not denied. It is accelerated. The season of shame has ended, and the season of double glory has begun. Lift your head high, for justice has spoken, and reversal is here. Type double portion in the comments if you claim this word. Blessing code 1717 now seals your restoration. Beloved, hear this closing word of heaven. Your prayers have not been wasted. Every cry you lifted, every tear that fell, every moment you thought God had forgotten, he was listening all along. The delays were not denials. The silence was not abandonment. The waiting was not in vain. Heaven has heard, heaven has moved, and heaven has answered. This word comes as both a reminder and a warning. Do not reject what you prayed for simply because it does not look the way you expected. Do not let your miracle slip away because you failed to recognize its form. The Father is saying to you now, I have sealed you. I have seen you. I have sent my answer. You will not walk in confusion. You will not remain in fear. You will not be abandoned to despair. My Spirit rests upon you. My angelic host surrounds you. My servant Michael has fought for you, and the breakthrough has been secured. Now it is up to you to walk in alignment, to embrace the unexpected, to hold fast to the word, and to obey without hesitation. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are not forsaken, you are chosen. You are not rejected, you are appointed. The miracle is already moving toward you. Heaven's decree has been issued, the reversal has been signed, the blessing has been loosed. All that remains is for you to receive it, to step forward in faith, and to declare with boldness that you will not miss heaven's move again. Beloved, I release this final blessing over you. May clarity flood your mind. May peace guard your heart. May strength return to your body, and may bold obedience rise in your spirit. May you walk forward with confidence, knowing that the same God who heard your cry is the God who now carries you into victory. You are sealed, you are seen, and you are sent. Go forward, and do not doubt again, for heaven has already answered. Type Amen in the comments if you receive this blessing. Blessing code 333 now rests over your destiny. Beloved, before we close, let me speak prophetically to those whose spirits are stirred. If this word has ignited faith within you, then know that you have a chance to partner with heaven in a holy act of sowing. Every gift released here is not just support. It is seed sown into the lives of countless others waiting for God's word. The Lord says, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest shall not cease. When you sow into this ministry, you are scattering light into darkness. You are releasing oil that flows into homes, and you are helping rescue souls who might otherwise miss their miracle. Right now, you can stand with us through YouTube Super Thanks, membership, or directly through PayPal. The link is in the description. As you give, I declare prophetically that God will multiply your seed and return it to you as rivers of provision, doors of opportunity, and waves of peace. Do not delay. Respond now, and let your giving be the very act that unlocks your next breakthrough.